Welcome to Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. For the next 2 weeks, we'll be brought to you by the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice and come to you from the Renaissance Shoppe. Today, we'll hear from Cathy Raymond about the Community Health Needs Assessment and why it's so important. Angela Tarleton, the Artistic Director for the Kearsarge Conservatory of Performing Arts, will give us an update on their activities. Rebecca Courser and Brick Moltz will invite us to the Warner Historical Society's Mink Hills program. And we'll close with our old friend Joanne Hughes to hear what's new, and things always are, here at the Renaissance Shoppe. Don't go away because you won't want to miss this week's edition of the Yankee Chronicle.
Simple solutions in a challenging world. Let Echo Communications make your life simpler. From the beginning, creating design through the commercial print process and ending with custom mailing, all easily coordinated in one place. Echo Communications provides simple solutions in a challenging world. One place, many solutions. Learn more at echocominc.com.
Warner's Main Street Bookends has been your community bookstore since 1998 and voted Yankee Magazine's Editor's Pick Must-See Bookstore. Bookends is a full-service store offering a huge selection of current fiction and nonfiction with children's book selection, toys, and games. Bookends has a huge card selection for all occasions, along with Main Street Marketplace and Gallery in the attached barn. 100% solar, Main Street Bookends of Warner is building your community one book at a time.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle, coming to you from the Renaissance Shoppe underneath the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice offices on Newport Road in New London. And I'm now joined by Cathy Raymond, who is no stranger to the Yankee Chronicle show here. Hi, Cathy.
Hi, it's great. I haven't done it in a while.
I know.
This is really fun.
It's fun to be here.
Yeah.
We're talking today about the Community Health Needs Assessment that is happening now, goes till the end of the month. Tell us about this survey that you have out.
Yeah, the Community Health Needs Assessment is a requirement of all healthcare nonprofits in the state of New Hampshire. Hospitals need to do theirs every 3 years.
Okay.
And other agencies like home cares and behavioral health and a few others that need to complete this assessment can do it every 5 years.
Okay.
So this year we're doing it in partnership with all the local hospitals. And it's interesting, Abby, because 5 years ago, 2017 is the last time we did our Community Health Needs Assessment. And we decided to do it solo, which we've never done before, just Lake Sunapee Region VNA. And it was really interesting because we got to drill down a little bit more about some health and home care and hospice needs that we couldn't have asked as much about with the larger group.
Yeah.
But this time around, we decided to do it with the hospitals because it's a greater depth of information when you bring in all the area hospitals.
Definitely.
So we'll probably alternate. There's no rule that says you have to do it alone or you have to do it in a group.
And so what can people expect when they open this survey, which is available for people to fill out through the end of April?
Right. It's at our website, lakesunapeevna.org. And if someone wanted a paper copy, we could certainly mail out a paper copy to somebody. But it's you open it up and it's multiple choice, very little opportunity for like free text or comments. There's a little bit of that, and it takes about 15 minutes to complete, depending on who's completing it. Some people are quicker at these things. And it's just a variety based on the last needs assessment 3 to 4 years ago and what people said in that survey. We've sort of tailored and updated some of the questions based on the last time around, which is what we do all the time. And so it's just, it hits a whole host of health and wellness issues.
And what's the VNA take from those responses? What are you looking for mostly?
So we're looking not to make assumptions about what people need or want, but
smart.
actually hear from them. And it was interesting because back in 2017, this is, if anyone remembers, this is what it looked like.
I remember looking at it,
when we did it on our own, it was really fascinating because often with a needs assessment, you hear a lot about specific either disease courses, like I'm concerned about, breast cancer, or I'm concerned about mental health or drug addiction or we need more of this service in the community. And we did get a lot of that feedback. But the big takeaway from the 2017 is that people want to age confidently. People want to have a plan in place and know where the resources are to age confidently. That was so prominent in the responses that we got versus specific services and diseases they were concerned about, although there's always some of that.
Right.
And it was just fascinating to us.
And that's something that you may not, as the VNA, know to focus on. You may be thinking people are looking for more respite programs or pediatrics, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, people really want to know how to age gracefully and properly.
And I think that kind of feedback is what drives things like advanced directives. When you sort of put on in paper your wishes for your health. And who's going to take care of you when you need someone to make decisions for you. So what it does, Abby, is once you get the results back, it kind of drives some of the programs or activities you might offer. You may not change things dramatically, which we probably wouldn't, but we may say, based on what people are saying, I really think we need to focus on thus and so, to the degree that we're able to as an agency.
Right.
So it's more to sort of respond to what the community is saying, rather than assuming that certain needs are out there.
Yeah, that's important, and be able to adjust what you offer to maybe help some of those needs that people have.
Right.
So again, people can contact you to get a paper copy if that's helpful for them, or find it on the website and fill it out before the end of April, ideally. Yes.
Yeah.
That's great, and I think it's an important thing for people to for you to take a look, for people to let you know what they really need out there.
Right, and I will say that the survey is just one part of the needs assessment. We collect a lot of data. We work with a consultant, so there's a lot of data from various resources collected about population health.
Sure.
And we also interview community leaders, and we have a separate survey for community leaders because they come at things with a different perspective.
Oh, interesting.
So there's a whole bunch of components.
Yep.
We started meeting back in August of 2020.
Wow.
It was the first group meeting to
get it started.
Map this out.
Wow, and here you are almost a year later, ready for it to go. Well, Cathy Raymond, the Development Officer here at the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, thank you for giving us all the tidbits. You're always a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, well, I appreciate us, letting us get it out there, because it's really important we hear from you.
Yeah, we urge people to go and fill it out. Thank you. It's so important to let our healthcare organizations know what your thoughts are. Please take the survey. When we come back, Angela Tarleton of the Kearsarge Conservatory of Performing Arts will give us an update on their activities. But first, these words from the businesses that are meeting yours and our needs in the Dartmouth Lake Sunapee region.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. With more frequent major weather events, don't say again, I should have installed a generator. H.R. Clough provides the best home generator systems available from Generac. Our highly trained personnel provide you a complete turnkey installation. For a free estimate, call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back. I'm Abby Peel, your host. Over the last year, we at Yankee Chronicle have endeavored to provide you with the most up-to-date information about adjustments that organizations have made because of the COVID-19 pandemic to keep themselves viable. Let's now hear from Angela Tarleton on what they've done. Hi, Angela.
Well, it was about a year ago when the pandemic hit. And when it hit, I kind of had a heads up that I had a feeling that we were going to go into quarantine. So the week right before that, I got all my students together that I could, and we came down here and we got all of the KCEPA classes recorded so that we could put them on YouTube. Then a week later, we actually started having classes on Zoom. And I will tell you, as a teacher, teaching on Zoom is one of the most difficult things I've ever done in my life. So we continued our classes through May because everybody thought, well, maybe it's going to get better, maybe it's going to get better. And then I lost my mom, who had retired to Mexico. And so then when we were down there was a lot going on. We continued to teach the Zoom classes, grieving over a mom, dealing with her death. And so then we made the decision toward the end of May that there was just no way we could do our spring show. So then in August, we started back up. We started out with four kids because, you know, people are still concerned. Everybody wears a mask the entire time, so we're very safe and we take this very seriously. We take their temperatures when they walk in the door, they get their hand sanitizer. We're up to 14 students, which is super exciting. We're just continually growing. We just got our spring show, and it's going to be June 22nd at the Pavilion at the Fells. So that's very exciting. So we'll be outdoors. Our summer programs are fantastic. We're starting up all the classes again. We're going to be here less hours in the day so that they're not wearing masks like from 9 to 4. So it's going to be shorter, but then and that will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Tuesday, Thursday, I'll have like private lessons on Zoom with them so we can take off our masks and we can have one-on-one with, you know, whoever signs up. In 2019, the Lake Sunapee Regional Chamber of Commerce named KCPA as the very first nonprofit of the year. 2020, I was just named as Community Member of the Year for the Lake Sunapee Chamber Region of Commerce, which really, I'm going to get a little emotional, which was such an honor to be named in 2020. When this whole thing happened, on top of everything else, I started making masks for the community. I made masks for my students so that everybody would be safe. So that was just such an honor and such a surprise. So, you know, KCPA is being recognized for what we do. We're now being nominated for a Governor's Award for Education in the Arts. And one of the most exciting projects that we did right before the pandemic, we actually did a joint project with Center for the Arts. And it was the best of Handel's Messiah. So we were actually able to make history. We were the first organization to do live dancing and live singing with Messiah. And I worked with local artists. I believe there was more than 12 artists, or at least 12 artists, that made original works for the show. And their art was in a micro gallery, and it was also displayed during the Messiah. In the December, we actually did a show called Christmas Extravaganza, and we had all of the students do dances that I choreographed from music of the Pentatonics as sort of just a cohesive. And so we filmed it in this room, and one of our parents videoed it, and so we actually had a Christmas concert even though it was virtual. Also, Center for the Arts invited us to do one of their first Fridays in March. And so we did a really cool concert. It was called Passion Prevails Pandemic, because I wanted everyone to see the passion of these kids, the passion of KCPA, my passion to be positive and to do great things during the pandemic. And I really think we pulled it off. We actually worked with 2 songs from a local artist, Cathy Lowe, and we were able to do the choreography to her music. Peter Block, he's also an artist. He does great visual arts and videos and photography. He actually videoed the show for us here in the studio. So if you're interested in joining KCPA and becoming part of our family, you can check our website out. It's nhperformingarts.org. Again, that's nhperformingarts.org, and all of our information is on there. My email is on there. You can contact me. And if you have any questions and you want any more information, please contact us. We'd love to have you join us.
Congratulations to Angela and your team on making the best of a challenging situation and for your recognition. When we return, we'll get a sample of what will be part of Warner Historical Society's Mink Hills program. But first, here are a few of the businesses that help keep us coming to you.
There's a big difference between a big box store and a LaValle Middleton building supply.
When you're a local store, you need to compete with the bigger chains. So we've combined our purchasing power with over 300 independent lumberyard and home centers, and we've passed those savings on to you.
Our customers have grown up with our stores, and now their kids are shopping here with our kids.
We have everything you need for any home improvement project you can think of.
And the possibilities are endless. If we had a motto, it would be neighbors helping neighbors build a community.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. Now is the time to protect yourself from the potential rising costs of fuel. The H.R. Clough Smart Pay Plan offers you the very best price. Call and talk to one of the expert staff about the right plan for you and your home. Call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back to your Yankee Chronicle. I'm Abby Peel, your host. In spite of the COVID-19 pandemic, all of our cultural organizations have had to find new ways to continue. Let's now hear from Rebecca Courser and Brick Moltz about a Mink Hills history program coming up.
So walking up in the hills, what you find is young forest with some old trees from days gone by. But if you looked 100 years ago, you would see quite a lot of farmland and open land. And you can see the pictures that show that. And it's obviously been reforested, and there are some homes up there, but not many, and most of it is conserved land. What is there, which is fascinating from the historical point of view, is remnants of where people have lived and how they lived.
The 1858 county map indicated 139 families lived in this area. The population decreased to 93 by 1892. And 100 years later, less than 40 families, many who had become summer residents, were located around the periphery of the Mink Hills. At one time, the many farm families living in these hills brought milk, produce, and lumber products to market in the villages of Kentucky, Henniker, Bradford, and Warner.
Traveling up there, walking up there with my wife and the dog, we do that all the time, but it's been really special to do this with Rebecca Courser. To go up there and to be taken to places that we wouldn't normally find ourselves, to bushwhack to a particular homestead and to see find the cellar hole and to learn about who lived in that home and what that home looked like. We took a long walk not so long ago, last spring I guess it was, and there were 2 enormous ancient maples about 20 yards apart, and they would have been the entrance to the yard of this house. The cellar hole is there, the barn foundation is there. And Rebecca related to us that these are most likely Lincoln trees that were planted in 1865 after the president was assassinated. I get goosebumps thinking about stuff like that, or finding the stairs that lead down into the cellar that are buried under the dirt, or finding a spoon.
Our program about the social history of the Minks will be featured April 28th at 7 p.m. To be connected by Zoom, go to the Warner Historical website and sign up. One of the stories you'll be hearing about is the farm site of Asa Harriman out at the Cranberry Bog, which is now Cunningham Pond. Asa Harriman married Sarah Evans in Salisbury, Massachusetts. Sarah's uncle, Benjamin Evans, was an original proprietor of Warner and sold Asa lot number 8, comprising of 60 acres in the 2nd Division of 60s in 1774. His uncle owned other lots in Warner, but Asa may have chosen this site because of access to hay and water, a cranberry bog, and southern exposure at the base of the Mink Hills. They had 4 children, 2 boys and 2 girls. Misfortune befell Asa on March 9, 1794, as he was felling trees. One wonders, was he cutting tree on a day when it was too windy to be in the woods? Or was the snow too deep to move quickly as the tree fell? Sarah stayed on the farm despite being a widow with 4 young children. Her resolve was further tested later that year when her cows did not come home one night and she set out to find them. Sarah, becoming lost, wandered in the forest till she saw the dim light in the house of Benjamin Badger, a neighbor 2.5 miles from her farm. Benjamin escorted her home to her sleeping children, but alas, her oldest daughter Nancy was missing. She had gone out to find her mother and had become lost in the woods. Thanks to helps from the neighbors, they found her a half a mile from the farm, sleeping under a log where she had rested through the night. It's ironic to think that Sarah lived to be 91, dying on the exact day, March 9th, as her husband had done several years before. This is just one example of the many, many stories about the farm families living in the Minks.
If you have any interest in the local history here, or even to relate it to where you are, Rebecca's going to share with you some stories that I'm sure you'll find fascinating and humorous and delightful.
It always amazes me how much our historical societies do. Take advantage of their offerings or even get involved. This week we're coming to you from the Renaissance Shoppe at the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice. When we return, I'll be joined by Joanne Hughes, one of its founders, for a look at their good work. But first, these words from the good businesses that make Yankee Chronicle possible.
At H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, we sell, install, tune, and repair heating and cooling systems and deliver your fuel oil and propane. But we're much more. Now is the time to have a highly trained H.R. Clough technician perform an annual maintenance and inspection of your gas or oil system to help you avoid a failure in the dead of winter. Call now to set up an appointment. Call the H.R. Clough Company today. Over 4 generations of local ownership and dependable service.
Welcome back to Yankee Chronicle. We're here in the Renaissance Shoppe underneath the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice offices on Newport Road in New London. And I'm now joined by another familiar face here to YCN, Joanne Hughes. Hi, Joanne.
Hi, so nice to see you.
So nice to see you. You always provide the best set for us because we don't have to do anything except
we
show
planned
up.
it just for you.
I love coming in here because it's always changing.
Oh my goodness.
And you have a variety of everything you could ever dream of. Tell us some of the things and highlights that you have here at the Renaissance Shoppe.
Well, things have been going out so quickly.
I'm sure.
It's, this winter has been rather quiet. This year has been rather quiet. But the things that we do that are donated, we've been getting wonderful furniture and items, and it goes out pretty quickly.
I'm sure. I know you have some beautiful things, and I wonder if it has anything to do with the crazy housing market that we have.
Oh,
you know, the real estate people,
think so.
People hurry up and they need a couch, and you can provide a couch or some bookcases.
And our sofas, our couches have gone out so quickly because we've had absolutely beautiful ones, very good quality. And I mentioned to people that, you know, if they're furnishing a house, they can pretty much find whatever they need because when we empty out a house, we empty out the house.
Right. Yes, that's so true. So you have it all. You have it all.
Right, right. Many times we do because this is an area where we deal with a lot of second homes.
Right.
And when people are downsizing or they're, you know, moving to Florida or something, they really want to get rid of everything. And
right.
They're coming from beautiful homes, and we get beautiful, good quality furniture.
Really good quality.
And, you know, I wished when I was young and got married and I was living in New York City, I didn't know about resale shops.
No.
Everything was full price and expensive.
And breaks the budget.
It breaks the budget. But we've had people come in, Abby, that also people that have rentals. It's great because, you know, if you have a cottage and you want to rent it out, you're always worried. You don't want to put a lot of money into the furniture. You can still make it look wonderful.
Absolutely.
You know, and just come in and get everything. And if it's not going to break the bank.
I've loved coming here for things that, you know, you don't want to go search all over for, but you know that you'll have like a big fruit bowl or something or a big mixing bowl. You have tons of those available, and you can pick all different shapes and colors, and it's perfect.
And some of the realtors have come in because they've had empty houses and they bought furniture to stage the house.
Oh,
to
that's
sell
a smart idea.
Yeah, and that's, you know, because it gives you an idea.
Sure.
You know, and sometimes they'll buy the furniture there.
Right. Oh, that's so smart.
Right.
That's great too.
So it's always changing. We get a lot of different styles. I mean, I'm looking at a dresser there that's $75 for the, for the
steal.
dresser and the mirror.
I know, that's a steal.
Yeah.
I actually really like that. And so if people are interested, if they're watching this and they're like, oh, I have some things that I would like the Renaissance Shoppe to look at, how do they do that?
Well, they can call the shop number, talk to Laura, or give me a call. And on many times they can just text over the photos.
Perfect.
And that helps with most things. But something like if it's sofas or chairs that have fabric, we have to make sure they're in good quality.
Sure.
And we go out to look at it and
Sure.
arrange a pickup. And now it is, we were lucky this winter. We have 2 moving companies that are working with us now. Because since I started the shop in 2004, that has been the toughest thing.
I'm sure.
Getting young men, strong young men to pick up furniture.
Yes.
Because we tried to keep it all volunteer.
Right.
And unfortunately, we don't have a lot of male volunteers in the area.
Yes.
So now we have on the moving company out of Claremont and Millennial, who is here in New London.
Great.
And they're picking up for us, so that's great.
That's
and they know what they're doing. They are very careful with the furniture. And they also deliver the things that are sold here.
That's amazing. I know, because it's one thing to say, oh, I want this, wonderful case in my house, and then it's another thing to get it in there.
Oh, right.
So that's wonderful. That's a great service.
Right, so they're very reasonable, and so that's why things are moving. You come in, and I thought, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, sold.
Sold and
We're
gone.
happy about it, but we have to keep it coming in.
Definitely.
Laura gets a little nervous when the shop, if there's not a lot of...
Yeah, you don't want bare.
No.
Yeah.
But the furniture has been wonderful. We've been getting some great rugs in, orientals, and all sorts of rugs.
I know, I even love this one here. Rugs are sneakily expensive, so sometimes it's a good thing to come and take a look at what you have first.
Right. Company C, I think
that's beautiful.
Company C.
I may have to leave with this one.
But we get runners, and oh goodness, like I said, when you empty out a house, you never know what you're going to get.
Right, exactly. Well, I urge people to come and take a look, because you never know what you might have here and
you
find.
never know what you might need.
Right, you don't know till you see it.
And this is a community where we have a lot of senior citizens, and they've taken good care of their furniture, and the kids are living halfway across the country, and it's not like they can just say, come on, empty out my house.
Exactly.
And it's too much to ship.
Right.
Really, so it's not worth it unless it's really a family treasure.
Sure. So then you get with beautiful things.
For some people, the tax deduction can help, but for many times, basically, that's not what it's about. They want to help the community.
Help the community, and they know it's going to a good
helping
place.
Raise money for the VNA,
which is amazing.
It's helping everybody.
Before we let you go, do you know the number to date of how much you've raised for the VNA?
Well, I know it's over $2 million, but I don't know where.
I know it was $2 million a couple of years ago, so I would think you're well over $2 million.
I'm not really sure, so I won't give you a number, but it's worthwhile.
Very impressive.
Yeah.
Well, Joanne, thank you for always being a wonderful host to us here. We appreciate it.
Well, thank you for coming in. It was nice to see you.
Nice to see you as well. It's amazing how much the Renaissance Shoppe has contributed to our VNA's underfunded programs. Good work by all. Next week, we'll be right back here at the Renaissance Shoppe. Mary Settorelli, the VNA's Human Resources Director, will tell us about some of their really great career opportunities. Lee McBain and Lynn Toohey from the Newberry Library will update us on the expansion proposal. And we'll close with Meg Cowan with a look at the Newport Opera House's plans and membership campaign. Don't miss our Game of the Week's second season with great replays from the past. All our games replay on WYCX at 12 noon and 5 p.m. on Sundays and Mondays. Other programming on WYCX's Outside Television includes original shows featuring the most exciting extreme sports from rock climbing, biking, water sports, and of course skiing. I'm Abby Peel. Join me again next week here at the Renaissance Shoppe at the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice at this same time for another edition of Yankee Chronicle. Stay safe, everyone.